What's up, everybody? Welcome into another Big Man on Campus college basketball preview video. Today, we're taking a look at the Big Sky Conference as we head closer and closer to the start of the season. The Big Sky, always a conference that is near and dear to my heart. I've had some good success with it over the last handful of years. It's an interesting conference this year. It's full of turnover, a lot of new coaches, a lot of new talent, but the big boys seem to have enough talent to continue their hot play. I'll tell you one thing about the Big Sky, though. There are some bad basketball teams in this conference, highlighted by Idaho, who, look, I'm going to come out and say it. This could be the worst team in the country. This is a group that in exhibition play the other night lost to Lewis and Clark State College. A school out of Idaho, really disgraceful, frankly. They lost by double digits. This is a bad basketball team for Zach Claus, and you got to feel bad. They just don't have very much there. Wouldn't surprise me if they don't eclipse 2 or 3 wins. They're that bad. But let's focus on the teams that actually are going to compete for this conference. And this is a conference that's always interesting because there are postseason tournaments down in Reno. It's one of those where it's very local. It's got a local feel to it. And these teams generally don't really do much in the NCAA tournament. And frankly, this is one of those conferences where they're going to send one team, they're going to lose in the first round, and that's going to be that. And the also interesting thing about the Big Sky this year is known contender Montana is actually, I think, going to struggle a little bit. A lot of talent was lost. No more Ahmad Rory, Mike Wilguin, or Jamar Ako. They're all gone. And look, Travis DeCour's got a tough power vacuum here to fill. This is not a real talented team outside of those guys. They do have a star, I think, it's Saeed Pritchett. He's had a really solid couple of years there, and he's going to be the guy that really kind of takes them to another level. I know they're getting some transfers in from the Pac-12, which might help. But this is a team that I don't think is going to contend. In fact, for me, listen, I'm going to go back to the well with Randy Rahe's team out at Weber State. Look, we all know Weber State as basically the team that brought us Damian Lillard, and that's really all we know them for. But this team actually coming into the season is actually, to me, the favorite. You look at what they're bringing back. I mean, this is a really guard-oriented team. There's a ton of talent at the guard position for them. They have the best player in the conference in Jarek Harding. Cody John is also a really good player on the wing for them. They have a kid in Israel Barnes who could be the next really good player at Weber State. They're going to struggle down low. They don't have a great front court, but this isn't a conference that's, it is frankly kind of devoid of front court talent. So I don't necessarily worry a ton about the fact that they do have young guys at the bigs position. But this is a conference I think is going to be dominated by guards, and I think they have a ton of ability at the guard position. Question is, can they get a big to be that guy down low for them, kind of the way Brecott Chapman was for this group the last couple of years. If I had to go with the sleeper, I'd definitely probably go with Southern Utah or Portland State. Both these teams, the big question for them is, can they figure it out on the defensive end? Generally, Southern Utah and Portland State both struggle to stop teams, but there is a big influx of transfers coming in to this conference. You look at Southern Utah, Todd Simon's done a nice job there to get some of these guys in there. They bring in a guy in Jacoby Long out of Iowa State. Dwayne Morgan is back. And they also have a kid out of Illinois State, David Njai, who could present, this conference with a lot of trouble. He's a good big. He's a guy that is going to be a tough matchup for a lot of teams because in this conference, there's just not a lot of teams that can handle a guy that's a 7-footer. So that could be interesting. Portland State, Barrett Peary's team, for them, it's really always been an issue defensively. It's not ever been a problem scoring. They have a kid named Holland Woods that's a terrific guard. He's like 5'9". He's just kind of a water bug, diminutive player. But for them, it's really always been a question mark of can they get out and defend. And if they can't do that, they're not going to really compete. So for me, it's all about Weber State. If I had to look for a sleeper, frankly, I'd probably go with Southern Utah. I think they're going to score a ton of points this year. They have a lot of talent. and they have a versatile lineup that I think can present problems for certain teams, especially in this conference. And if you just listen to what I said, the big issue for Weber State's going to be, can they deal with bigs in this conference? They have competent replacements for Brecott Chapman. Not sure they do. We'll see. My favorite, though, I'll stick with the guard-oriented team, the best coach in this conference, Randy Rahe, and go with Weber State to win the Big Sky. I'm the Big Man on Campus. As always, make sure you check out all my previews here on my channel. We're going to get everyone out by the start of the season. These will be here for you to reference. As always, I'm the Big Man on Campus. If you're new around here, make sure you check out the channel and subscribe so you never miss a video. We'll see you next time.